Hello and a very warm welcome to the Insider Essay, your guide to living better. Join us today as we celebrate works of time, sharing inspiring stories of success from those who have invested time into making something special. Meet a couple whose restaurant in Franschhoek is a celebration of simple, timeless cuisine. Find out how Junior Ferreira is inspiring positive change in his community through dance. See how an ambitious entrepreneur left a job in retail to launch her own fashion label. Visit a home whose impressive art collection has been beautifully curated with time. Learn more about beauty vlogging with social media sensation Mihlali Ndamase. And discover the internationally acclaimed works of prolific sculptor Anton Smit. Partners in life and business, television personality and producer Imran Varga and chef and cooking show host Chris Smit have built their personal dream of time together. A restaurant reflecting how they eat and prepare food at home.
You know, Smitten actually started as a pop-up restaurant at the Franschhoek Village Market. We wanted to use the market to test the market, pun intended, to see if people were into what we were producing.
Well, we also wanted to share our love and passion for food with the locals.
Yeah.
So the market was the perfect platform or environment in which to do this.
After the market's success, we desperately looked for premises. Couldn't find any. There's not a lot of retail spaces that lend themselves to restaurants in Franschhoek. So after a while, we sort of gave up, and then the opportunity to produce Chris's show, Curated on SABC2 came up.
It was completely new to me. I've never worked on TV before. It was actually quite frightening.
Yeah.
But it is fun to show people how to cook just uncomplicated food. And that's what Smitten essentially today is all about.
There are plenty of restaurants in Franschhoek that present the beautiful foams and the haute cuisine. But if you want a regular meal that isn't sort of too lowbrow, but sophisticated enough to make it feel special, that's what we aim to achieve.
Premises eventually became available, and it was a work of time renovating the space to their vision.
One of the talking points and the first thing you notice when you walk in is our bar canopy. I actually had always fantasized about having a truly towering bar canopy. And of course, because the ceilings are not that high and we don't have the double volume I was hoping for, I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to make a tall bar and I'm just going to make it curve along the ceiling. So that is the illusion. Here are floating bottles overhead.
The restaurant is decorated by fabulous textures and color combinations of green, ivories, grays, and gold.
I thought to bring out the gold accents, that we'd pick a color that was complementary, so I went for this lovely outdoor velvet in a shade of, I call it a happy green. And to complement that, a gorgeous wallpaper behind me, a beautiful marble and oil effect wallpaper that is such a talking point that, in fact, on many days, much to my horror and chagrin, I have to sort of resist the urge to tell people not to touch it because it's mesmerizing. So walk around the corner and you discover a whole other world and identity, which is, of course, our deli and bakery. And here we stock a lot of local products made by local artisans, including ourselves. We have all our bespoke chutneys, marmalades, pickles, and then, of course, Chris's freshly baked bread and his gorgeous cakes, which are super, super popular.
Their menu is made up of their own favorite personal recipes, many inspired by their families.
I'm going to show you our signature dish, which is Imran's cashew nut and chicken curry. Now, the base of the curry consists of fried onions, ginger, and garlic, and then the spices that I've added would be the whole mustard seeds, cumin seed, and the powdered spices, dhania jeera, which is cumin coriander. I've also got the magic paste which Imran's mum used to make for us, which I call red gold. And it consists of the curry leaves, onion, garlic, and also spices such as cumin, coriander, mustard seeds, and judging by the red color, lots of red chilies. Now, to make the sauce, I'm going to add my onion and spice mix to the blender together with some tinned tomatoes and also roasted cashew nuts. And we're going to blitz them all together for a minute or two and then continue with the curry. And what you're looking for is a nice creamy consistency, almost like a paste. Our cashew paste we're going to add to a casserole which is nice and heated. We're going to reduce our sauce for a few minutes on low heat until it intensifies in color. And into this I've added my chicken, which has been marinating overnight, and that's the secret to getting it meltingly tender, but a few hours would do. And with the coconut milk, or you can use cream, into your curry, it will turn your sauce extra creamy and quite silky. This needs to simmer for 30 minutes on a very low heat, and then it goes into the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes and a feast awaits. And here we have it, our well-reduced chicken and cashew nut curry. I have done a final seasoning of salt and lemon juice, and to finish it off, a few garnishes. I've got some roasted cashews, lightly chopped, as well as some cocktail tomatoes sliced in half, and then lastly, some fresh coriander, and a little bit of color by means of an edible flower. And this curry I serve with some homemade naan, house-made chutney, in this case it's papaya, which we also sell in our deli, some raita, and some basmati rice.
Hey, that smells good.
Are you ready to taste?
Yes. You know, every day that Chris prepares the curry, faithful to my recipe, it's a North Indian style curry, hence the use of the nuts.
Fresh.
Spot on.
Enough lemon for you.
You've hit all the right notes. A good curry has a gentle first taste, then an afterburn, and lots of notes in between. It's an interesting thing when you work together, especially when you're both collaborators creatively as foodies. Chris handles the food and I defer to him, but I'm very much involved in the recipe formulation, but also we work together on Chris's show, Curated, where I am his director and producer and he's the talent. And then there's always this kind of, you have to thread that needle so carefully because you're working together. One of the major stumbling blocks was the fact that as partners in life, we always speak to each other in a very specific tone. But when I go into producer-director mode, I take a very neutral tone. It's not lovey-dovey at all. And sometimes he took objection to the fact that I wasn't asking him in the cutest way possible to reshoot something. But luckily, that was a great dress rehearsal for this.
So in time, we actually learned how to work together, respect each other's talents and experience in the various fields.
But I think that's the thing about time, right? It comes to you eventually if you put in the work, because it does take time.
But you also grow as a couple.
Yes.
Experiencing, I won't say these challenges, but to be put in situations like that.
But it's rewarding at the end of it, because while it takes a long time to get to that balance and calibration, it definitely is rewarding and validating when you get it right.
With love and a vision crafted together, Chris Smit and Imran Vaga are taking the time to make the most of every moment. Next on the Insider Essay, be uplifted through dance with Junior King Ferreira and meet an entrepreneur whose business was inspired by a childhood dream. Junior King Ferreira is a dancer and choreographer from the Eastern Cape who is using movement to inspire change in those around him. It was his mother and manager Marion Ferreira who encouraged him to form his own dance crew to help overcome his depression. Today, his energetic and positive approach is an inspiration.
Hi guys, what's up? This is your boy Junior, better known as Junior King. I am a dancer, rapper, actor, but everybody knows me for my dance skills. You know what time it is. I am from PE and I'm the leader of the PE boys, and you are now watching The Insider. Let's go. So I am from a small town called Utrecht. In that area where I grew up, it was robberies, gangsterism, anything bad basically that you can think of was happening in my area. So it was a very difficult experience for me growing up. I wanted to be a dancer. I always wanted to dance. I've always wanted to be in the arts. I have this gut feeling where I'm just always right about something, and I was just right this time about me not being a gangster. I just always knew that I won't be this person, and I can become something better, basically.
In 2019, Junior started 2 dance schools to nurture young talent. As a rising community leader, he is committed to encouraging upliftment through dance.
For me, dancing has become the center of my life, and the beneficiary that I get from dancing is basically everything around it. I travel the world, I meet new people, I get to see fresh faces, and I get to instill and inspire a whole new person to want to become a dancer and want to become something better than what they already are. As you all know, there's no I in team at all. So I wouldn't be where I am right now if it wasn't for the people in my life. There's other people I can say thank you to, and I just want you to meet them as well. So let's go meet the P-boys. So these are my boys.
I'm Dylan Bingo.
En ik is Dylan Swarts.
And we are
The P-boys. Ik is nou samen met boys like voor zeg maar 5 years. Né? En ik heb baie geleerd uit. Ik heb mijn eigen kroeg gehad vooruit, maar ik denk het is zo baie uitgewerkt met toen ik van Junior gekend heb. Die is waar ik nou sta.
Oh, yeah.
I actually couldn't dance before I met him. I couldn't dance. He taught me everything I know. He's been like a bigger brother to me, even though I'm a year older than him. Just putting it out there. Yeah, so yeah, I've been dancing now for what, 8-9 years.
Yeah. I'm the choreographer. I choreograph the moves. I come up with all the moves. I get inspired basically by things around me, my situation, my mood, how I feel. That's when I start choreographing basically. And I've been choreographing since the age of 10. I choreographed a talent show while I was in primary school. I choreographed a high school talent show and ended up winning it for 5 years consecutively. So choreographing has always been part of my blood. I like telling people what to do. So I'm just a leader that way, you know?
Ik dans elke dag. Ik kan niet stilzitten als ik een beat hoor en dan van mijn body net beweeg. Zo is een ding wat elke dag gebeurt.
Urban dance culture has for a long time been synonymous with the world of skateboarding. Both disciplines require physical prowess and creativity among practitioners. It's no wonder their local skate park is a common place to find the guys hanging out.
We are at the skate park, one of our favorite places. The reason why we grew up here in this place, it's a very, very nice vibe. There's always youth skating, driving bikes.
Fresh air. Yes.
The reaction to our daily videos is insane, totally insane, because we got people from all over the world watching our videos, from Spain, Portugal, USA, Brazil, Namibia. It's all over, and people love us. They love us, they love our content, they keep on pushing. Guys, when's the next video? When's the next video? When you guys gonna drop?
There's also not many dances that reaches like the views that we reach. We literally reach just 2 million views, 10 million views, million views. So for dancers to get to a level to have the same views as a rap artist, or, you know,
Insane.
It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. We have the same tattoos.
Let's go.
We went for the same tattoos.
Let's go.
Yeah, this is actually crazy.
We went for the same tattoos. I don't know if you can get a view on that.
Yeah.
We have the same tattoos. So
Same.
for us, this is more than a crew. This is more than a team. It's more than a dance crew. This is a family. We do everything together.
The crew's dance videos are inspired by trends in music, dance, and culture, both in Mzansi and abroad. Their ability to release consistently good videos has seen their loyal fan base continue to grow.
It's like he always says, he always has a saying where he says pain is progress. And for the kids out there, if you want to dance, if you want to rap, if you want to be an actor, there will be many people that's going to tell you that that's not a career choice, that's a hobby, you can't, you're local, you're only people in America can do that. You should never listen to anybody telling you anything bad or anything opposite of what you're trying to do. You need to keep pushing, make a name for yourself, be passionate about what you do.
Yeah.
If you're not passionate about what you do, how do you expect anybody else to be passionate about what you do? So they need to see the passion burning in your eyes, they need to see you fight for what you want, and they need to see you go get it and wake up in the morning and go do something every day, even if you don't get the money for it.
Yeah.
That's what I want to tell you guys.
Yeah.
Junior King Ferreira reminds us that change takes time. Improving one's circumstances requires consistent focus and hard work. We wish him well as he spreads his message around South Africa and the world. In the small Eastern Cape town of Queenstown, ambitious young entrepreneur Andiswa Shenxane launched her own fashion label 11 years ago. She called it Onodoli in tribute to her childhood fascination with dressing her Barbie dolls. The label has become a firm favorite with local clientele, and the happy buzz around Andiswa's designs keeps on growing.
I think I was born to be a fashion designer. I had no other choice. Even the time in school we were asking, what is your second choice? I was like, I don't have a second choice. I want to be a fashion designer.
I wasn't surprised with this fashion thing because my mother was a dressmaker. When I said to her that my mother was a dressmaker, she said, I'm not a dressmaker, I'm a fashion designer. She started this very young, taking patterns from the magazine and then picks the dolls and sew and dress them all the time.
I played dolls until grade 12. My late brother used to say to me, Andiswa, you are too old for playing dolls. And I will hide myself in the room. I will sew the dolls' clothes and sell it to my friends. And that's where the businesswoman started from. I obtained a diploma of fashion designing in 2007, and I moved back home and worked for a few retail shops just to find out what Queenstown people really looking for, what is lacking that I can provide.
Bravely making the transition from her full-time position in retail, Andiswa launched the Onodoli brand with only 3,000 Rand in her bank account and a handful of customers. The business grew, and in 2017, she proudly opened the doors to her boutique.
So guys, this is my happy place. Onodoli, it's a Xhosa word, meaning in English like a Barbie girl. I used to love Barbie girl. So instead of saying Barbie doll, I said Onodoli. Instead of dressing my friends' dolls, now I'm dressing the real dolls. So when someone comes in this shop and saying, Andiswa, I'm attending this function, please dress me. So I make sure when she is coming out of this place, she looks like a doll. I'm currently busy with my winter range, and there's this bird that I saw from the internet, and I was like, I love the colors. This is my winter inspiration. It's having those deep brown, mustard, deep orange colors, those warm colors. I love vintage. Most of my inspiration comes from the vintage. I love watching the vintage movies. So yes, that's where I draw my inspiration.
Her clothes are so definitive. They stand out. They're very comfortable. She knows her customers. I just tell her, Andy, so I'm going to an event, I'm going to a wedding. Then I need something. I'll just give her the theme. I don't come and say, I want a specific dress. She would know me. She knows what I like. She understands her customers. This is very comfortable. I like the bagginess of the pants and the top. As I'll be traveling now to Gqeberha, now I'll be very comfortable.
To be a designer, it's not easy. It took me 9 years, and I'm not even there yet. It's hard working, sleepless nights, and each and every week I must come out with the new items for people to come and buy. A friend of mine introduced me to Eclectic. He said, you must try Eclectic because when it comes to interest rates and charges, they via Excel. Via Pasa in cost. And now it's been 4 years I've been with Eclectic. What makes Eclectic so easy for me? The merchant app. I love that merchant app because if I'm not around the shop, I can go through my app to see who came to the shop and purchase something. So no need for me to come back to the shop and see the end of a day slip. In the bright future, I would love to see my name, Onodoli, on big stores, big platforms like fashion show, retail shops. That's what my dream is now.
To set you on your path to realize your dreams, you stand a chance of winning a 1,000 Rand cash prize. Simply reply to the competition post on the insidersa.co.za social media platforms using hashtag CapitechLiveBetter. T's and C's apply and can be found on the Insider SA website. Coming up, designer Erhard Nieuwoud of Kim H. New shows us a true work of time in a spectacular home. Today, we pay a visit to an exquisite Johannesburg home with interior design by Kim H. New. Well-known decorator Michael Hutton mentored interior designer Erhard Nieuwoud to become the owner of the design firm, and Erhard now continues the legacy of this brand. The house features a collection of art built over time in a home that has gradually been developed.
Hi guys, I'm Erhard Nieuwoud from Kim H. New. Welcome to one of our beautiful projects. Let me show you around. So growing up as a family, we moved around a lot, but I spent most of my time in Port Elizabeth. This is where I went to school, and it's where I found my passion for interior design. I realized spaces have always interested me. Probably used to frustrate my mother a lot, moving around furniture in the house and painting out my walls in my bedroom. Every time they'd get home, something would look different or be out of place. There the passion really developed, and I realized it's something that I'd want to study and make my career going forward. This was quite a special project for us. It was quite a fun project where the concept and the main focus in this house was art, which is why it was so important for us coming through the entrance, through the front door, to be faced with all of this different art, from sculptures to beautiful bright paintings. Since day one, they wanted this beautiful Lionel Schmidt head in the entrance, so you're greeted by it as you come through the front door. And then we had to accent it with fantastic pieces like a colorful Urbanski and some beautiful sculptures on the other side of things. So here we are in the formal lounge space. It's the first space you encounter as you enter the home down the stairs from the entrance hall. The client really wanted a spectacular space that would jump out at you as you come. So for guests to enjoy and for them as a family to enjoy as well. I'd say this is where the journey of their art collecting started. I mean, you can see works around us, from Blessing to Richard van der Meulen sculptures. All around you, you find beautiful pieces. Some of the other pieces we had to find to really complete the eclectic feel of this space is some fantastic Italian furniture that we had imported specifically. The client actually saw this on one of the art fairs we went to for art and fell in love with it, so we had to order some. And with the texture that it brings to the space, it just really jumps out at you. I absolutely believe in using texture in every space. It's a key factor in bringing an eclectic space together and really making it come to life. So we had a special artist create this unusual and interesting wall texture, which, even though it looks hard and rough, it's actually made from silicone that's been painted by Paint Technique to really give this spectacular, unusual feel and help make this artwork pop out at you. So everything here was chosen to actually be chaotic and actually make the statement they wanted as you come in.
Heading to the owner's workspace, we see a continuation of how the art is a source of her inspiration.
This is the client's personal study, and they wanted a space that really reflected their personality, but was still interesting and calming and productive at the same time. So we have a very beautiful and interesting desk from Italy that was sourced specifically. She saw it and she had to have it. And it's all kind of framed by beautiful art. This fantastic Norman Catherine tapestry, one of the few ones that he made, was something she actually previously owned, and she said, this has to have prime space on the wall in my study. We tried to play with some quirky colors and lines and stripes throughout the whole space. So from a yellow Eames chair through to the Paul Smith inspired stripes on the sliding cupboard doors for the shelves, to even an Asian inspired cupboard that we painted in a fuchsia pink, which is her favorite color. And I think it all kind of came together very nicely to create a very calming yet inspiring space for her to do what she needs to do every day behind her desk.
From work to relaxation, the house is designed to be stylish as well as functional, with careful consideration given to the importance of family time.
Well, let me show you the heart of the home, the main family living space. The house was designed for quite a large family, and they love to gather together and have dinners and suppers. So we had to really create a space that would cater for those scenarios, but yet still be intimate enough for them when it's just them to enjoy the space itself. We went with a nice dark, deep charcoal color on all the walls, so it can kind of just disappear into the background and make the art and everything else the main feature. The stone-colored cabinetry, along with the beautiful sandstone cladding that came with the house, I think just marries in with that beautiful charcoal space. Here we had to choose some beautiful pendant lights that would be a feature but also not obscure that beautiful art piece in the back. So it had to be something that's airy and see-through. We had these sourced from Italy, they were also stunning. And then to the main area of this home, which is this family room space. The client didn't want to have a TV here. They just wanted a space where as a family they could converse and sit together and just enjoy time together. So we opted for a slightly different approach to what you would usually do in a family room, which is a bit of a conversation pit. It's closed off on both sides. With that's the challenge that you cut off outside from the inside. So this beautiful sofa actually comes with the added advantage of removable backrests that can swivel around. So you can sit on both sides of it and actually enjoy conversation inside, outside, and set it up to cater for your real needs in this space. So one of the things that personally gets me the most excited when we worked on this project was this artwork. I quite enjoy the Rolling Stones music myself. And this is a spectacular piece that actually works three-dimensionally. As you move past it, you actually see it changing from an album cover to a photo of the lead singer. So we wanted it to be an experience walking down the passage past it, looking at the artwork and actually seeing this constant changing artwork and that interest on the wall.
The attention to detail is not confined to inside the home. The landscaping of the garden and the careful placing of the statues extends the design thread throughout the property.
The client really wanted a beautiful garden. This has always been something important in all the homes they've lived in. In fact, we actually had to bring in cranes to bring the numerous cycads into the actual property so that they could have a calming, beautiful, familiar space that just engulfs the whole area. So from a furnishing perspective, we had to choose muted tones. You know, your olive greens and whites and natural timber spaces. So it doesn't impose on this natural setting, but actually blends in with the rest of it. We had some fantastic custom pieces made, some other Italian pieces sourced, and then a local South African artist who actually created a fantastic art sculptural light piece over the dining table.
For Earhart, creating each living space is like putting together a live-in work of art.
So here we are in the main bedroom. Here you're greeted by a beautiful wall and art, and then suddenly you're in the dressing and bathroom side with the bedroom on the far side of the room. This is a bedroom where you can literally open your eyes and close your eyes to a spectacular view. I mean, it's smaller than your traditional space compared to the rest of the house. And to maximize on the feeling of space, because we're surrounded by windows on two of the sides, we added some mirrors to some hidden cupboards that just reflects the outside and brings outside inside. Just because the main bedrooms for the king and queen doesn't mean we have to skimp on the other bedrooms. In this home, the guest bedrooms all have a very unique look and feel to them as well. Each obviously has some feature artwork like everywhere else in the home, and then some custom headboards made out of leathers and other textures. Specialized textured wallpaper on the back to give it that textural feel like the rest of the home. And just all in all, a very nice and comfortable space to be in, because the guest needs to feel at home. Even though you don't always necessarily want them to stay too long, they still need to enjoy their stay. One of my other favorite parts of this home is the private balcony to the main bedroom. It's quite different to everywhere else in the home where we had this contemporary, eclectic feel. This has more of an African-inspired feel. It's a space where we had to source a lot of rustic and unique pieces to bring together this look and feel, from comfortable outdoor seating to hand-carved chairs from Malawi. Ultimately, the art also speaks to this outside space, so you had to bring in some sculptures outside, like downstairs and everywhere else, speaking to the holistic approach for this home focused around art. It's absolutely possible to create an eclectic, beautiful space without having to spend a fortune. The important thing about the eclectic style is that it is a mix and match of different styles and elements that come together to create something that still cohesively works, but doesn't necessarily speak to the same style. You can start off by having a neutral base that ties it all together, a bit of a common theme, and then fill it with little pieces and things that mean something to you. And I think that's key, is making sure that what you put in your home, whether it's expensive or inexpensive, is something that you actually like, has a bit of a story, and is something you like to surround yourself with. Don't overthink putting it together. It will all come together if you keep that in mind.
Over time, with careful planning and investment, a house can turn into a distinctly personal home like this one. Next on the Insider Essay, hang out with one of Mzansi's biggest names in beauty vlogging, Mihlali Ndamase. First entering the industry 5 years ago, Mihlali Ndamase is a beauty vlogger and fashionista who has been making waves locally and internationally. With well over 1 million followers on Instagram, she features on the global Instagram rich list. We caught up with Mihlali at a gorgeous guest house in Franschhoek.
My love for makeup started when I was still in primary school. I used to steal my mother's makeup. I'd wear red lipstick to camp. I think I was about 10 years old. And then I was in high school, I was 15 years old. That's when I discovered the online beauty community, which was YouTube. And I grew a huge love for beauty from there. You know, I found a way that I could share my passion with the world, share my craft with the world as well. But I didn't necessarily know how to monetize the platform then. But as I got into it in 2016, I sort of just discovered my way as I went, and that's where my digital beauty journey started. Connecting to young girls in South Africa is very important to me, and I feel like it's something that I do every day through my content. And it is very important because I'm sending out a message to them, firstly, that through my life and through my journey in beauty, whoever is inspired by it and aspires to be at this point or even further one day, that it is possible.
It's taken Mihlali time and hard work to create and maintain an online presence. She now has over 300,000 subscribers on YouTube.
So basically, when I'm curating content, I just walk around, make sure that I capture every single moment. I just zoom in and out of things that I find interesting, show people detail, and then there's cutaways of me speaking as well to camera, explaining where I am at that particular moment, just so people can understand what's happening throughout the vlog.
The venue for today is situated in the heart of the Western Cape winelands. Steeped in French Huguenot history, the surrounding farm was established in 1692.
So it's owned by an international businessman, Michael Pawlowski, who lived here with his family for many years. And he wanted to have this whole essence of a gentleman's country residence, but it is a working wine farm. So you've got the vineyards on either side, which is growing fantastic Merlots and Pinot Noir grapes. And then 2 dams below, which is all the ley water that actually comes off the mountain. And then it fills up the dams on both sides. Below that is a beautiful big rugby field, which we've had wonderful weddings on in the past, a tennis court, and for those who want to, is a helicopter landing pad as well.
I absolutely love this farmhouse. I think it's so beautiful. I appreciate places with, antique and vintage vibes going on. I feel like it really gives you a home feel. It's very cozy. So I absolutely love the farmhouse. I mean, the view is spectacular. It's everything.
Taking an inside look into how Mihlali creates content, we witness our very own makeup tutorial.
So now I'm going to show you guys how to achieve my go-to soft glam look. And these are all the brushes that you need. I'm joking. I don't use all these brushes, so let's get into it. I'm first going to start off by prepping my spray, prepping my face. Now to move on to foundation. I prefer to do my foundation before my eyebrows because it just gives it a much more natural look. And for soft glam, you're not really going for a very intense evening makeup look. Next step, I'm going to be doing my eyebrows. Now, if you are somebody with very oily skin, here's a quick tip. I love to grab a clean brush as well as the lid of my loose setting powder, decant some powder onto the lid, and then tap any product left on the brush just on top of my brows. This will help keep your brows matte throughout the day. Next step, we're going to be warming up the face with some blush. This is also going to help add some dimension. I love this blush because it has a little bit of a shimmer to it, which is perfect for when you're going for a super rosy daytime glam vibe. I just got done sticking on my lashes as well as smoking out my liner. I went for a very soft brown smoky wing liner, which is something that's very on trend right now. To seal the deal, I'm going to be going in with a beautiful red lip. Depending on your skin tone, you can always go with an undertone that complements your skin tone as well as your dress or whatever garment that you're going to be wearing on the day. To complete the look, I'm going to go in with my Refresh Prep and Set Spray. This is going to help my makeup last throughout the entire day. Very, very important step. Never ever leave out setting spray. Now you're ready to take over the world.
While Mihlali gets herself ready, we head to the kitchen to see how a delicious lunch is being prepared by General Manager and Chef Melanie Shepherd.
So here at Eclectic Montagna, we offer a home away from home type of feel when it comes to cuisine. So today I'm hosting Mihlali. She's going to be joining me for lunch. So we're going to be doing an acclaimed. So that is some chili, garlic, parsley, lemon zest, and freshly cooked spaghetti. And to pair with that, we're going to do a fresh trout fillet with some salad leaves, some spinach, some avocado. Just keep it plain and simple, home cooked style. It basically is a couple little ingredients. You can whip it up in 3 to 4 minutes. We're going to start with the olive oil in the pan. So next in is the garlic. I'm not shy with the garlic. It adds a lot of flavor and gives some oomph to this pasta dish. Next, we're going to add the pasta into the boiling water. It's literally going to be a quick process, 2 to 3 minutes, and then we'll finish off the dish. Basically, this pasta is made majority of olive oil. This olive oil comes directly from the olives from our farm. So now we add a little bit of the salty pasta water just to combine the olive oil together with the pasta and create the sauce. Add some freshly grated lemon zest and a squeeze of lemon juice just to add some acidity to the pasta. No Italian pasta is complete without some freshly grated grana padano Parmesan cheese. So that's it, pasta's done. Let's get cracking on the salad.
This smells so delicious. What are you making?
Great timing. I've just made a pasta dish and I just need your help to get a salad going. Okay, so we're gonna start with the salad. Okay. Toss in some salad leaves, some spinach. It's very rustic, so as much or as little as you'd like. This is a cabbage selection with carrots, red cabbage, green cabbage, and beetroot. So you can add a little bit of that into that.
I absolutely love avocado. I love it on toast. I love it on everything. And I feel like it adds such amazing flavor to salads.
No, of course. It adds a beautiful buttery texture to the salad. So what's great about adding the spring onions, it adds this lovely sharpness that goes so well with the avocado.
I love that. Yum. I'm pescatarian, so I'm really excited to try this.
Well, we have some freshly baked trout from our local farm here in Franschhoek. You know, what's better than having local fish? The trout is done. All we have to do is crumble it over the salad and we're good to go.
Okay.
The difference between trout and salmon, the trout is locally farmed. Salmon normally is Norwegian or Scottish, so that is important. So it's great that we're supporting local.
I love that. So this is all what it's about for me, traveling, experiencing beautiful places, having fresh trout, as well as a lovely pasta. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure, and please enjoy.
Thank you.
Contemporary beauty meets classic elegance. These surroundings are perfect for a star like Mihlali Ndamase, who continues to grow her personal brand at an international level. Coming up, see how world-renowned sculptor Anton Smit creates his works and discover how he's preserving his legacy.
Simplify banking. Live better with Capitec.
Internationally acclaimed for his ability to capture the essence of mankind and our relationship to the world through his work, Anton Smit is a prolific South African artist, best known for his overwhelming heads and monumental sculptures that evoke a myriad of emotions to mirror the complex nature of existence in all its suffering and glory.
I wanted to become a mirage pilot. But then somebody told me if you have fillings in your teeth, you cannot become a mirage pilot because your fillings will fall out. So what I did is I read a book about Michelangelo and I thought, wow, this is amazing. This guy must be an angel from heaven. And then only later did I find out that he was a man, just like me. Then I said, this must be the most difficult thing that a man can do, is to make stuff like this. So I said to myself, I will dedicate my life to becoming a sculptor. And I did. I wanted to go to university, but my dad, being a policeman, couldn't afford it. So I taught myself. I went to the library and I took out books on how to make art, how to make sculptures. A good thing that my dad did was he got me a job at the police museum. And there were some artists also working there, and they taught me a few tricks, how to make a plaster mold, etc. So I learned the basics as I went on. A long time ago, I realized that I'm not going to remember everything that I did because I do too many things. So I decided to keep an accurate diary of every day what I do. And then I started sticking stuff into the diary. So everywhere I go, I have pictures of where I was. The gallery where I exhibit in Belgium is there. That's what the gallery looks like. You see, so all kinds of junk that I get, I put in the diary. And I can open up the diary at any page and something interesting is there.
Keen to see his process firsthand, we paid a visit to his workspace to see what he is currently busy with. Working together with apprentices like Prince, he continues to produce inspiring creations.
Now we're in my studio where I spend all my time. There's a new head, a new figure, a new face. This one has just come from the foundry. It's a brand new piece that I'm making for a client, and it's called the Nubian series. This series reflects the inner workings of Africa and the beauty of Africa. The big beauty of this piece is the fact that these inner cuts reflect light, and it's really, really attractive that way. I love it, this piece. It's one of my favorites. This is called the Crouching Man, the head of the Crouching Man. It's been laser cut. I made the first one life-size of this, and then I had one made bigger, which is now outside, and then the third one, this one, is done with laser from that one to this one. And from here, I carve it out again. I reshape it. So there's a lot of work to be done on that. The material that I use is always, it starts with polystyrene because it's nice and light. If I carve with a hand, I'll cut it with a blade and then put it onto a steel framework and cut it out the whole thing. And then once it's ready and carved, I'll carve it with sandpaper. I'll take clay and put it over, wax clay that doesn't dry in the sun. It's like plasticine. To me, job creation is one of my most important things that I like to do. I take new guys and I train them how to do the job. You quickly see if a guy has some talent, and then the talented ones I train more and more and more. And then some of the guys stay here 20 years, so they're really part of the family. Yes, Prince, he's a great artist. He's learning from James and from me everything that he can do.
At the moment, I'm busy with Working Man. This one is the second one that we are doing now. I've learned everything about art, which I've taught by Chief. This guy is a great artist.
So this thing is one of two. There's two of them pointing to each other. He's a man walking around on the earth. God said, so what are you doing? He says, I'm walking around on the earth. This is the crouching man, a guy who's contemplating his own body, his own mind, his own spiritual welfare. And he's saying, surely I am more brutish than a man. I do not have the understanding of the holy. And this is the basic idea of this guy. He's doing introspection. And so yonder over there has to bring the arms. Let's see what it looks like when it's got its arms on. I've made this one already in exactly life size, and I thought nobody would be interested in it. And I was surprised that I've sold quite a few of them already. And for that reason, I decided to make it bigger. This is the general casting studio where we cast all the stuff. And here are some new figures that Ephraim and his team have been making. This is the second last piece that I made, and this is the last one that I made. It's called In Moment 5. It's the same model over and over, and I like the way she's proudly looking towards the future. These masks represent faith. Faith is the substance of something you cannot see. So you have to have faith to go into the future.
Anton's work graces esteemed collections all over the world. A collection of his work was exhibited during the inauguration of President Mandela. It's inspiring to see his process and learn how his works come together.
This one over here is called Run From Yourself, and I made it some years ago, and I just love the way these two figures, they're the same person, they're running together. And then me and my son Jacques were discussing, so I said to him, put in rods like this. I couldn't do this myself, so he did it. And also, it's a thing that just happened instinctively. I can't explain to you why we decided to do it like this. It just looks great like this. Last but not least, this is the sculpture that I call Faith. It's a 1.5 meter one. The first one that I made was life size. And it's the sculpture that epitomizes everything that I do. Hence, I've got it in 5 different sizes, starting with a small one, 300 high, and going up to 7 meters tall, which is at the bottom of the garden. And it's been my most successful sculpture ever.
On the northern side of the Bronkhorstspruit Dam, you'll find the 3-hectare grounds that make up the Anton Smit Sculpture Park. Here, his work lives proudly among the succulents and lush lawns.
My wife and I decided to build this up and leave it as a legacy for the whole country, for anybody to come and visit. So these sculptures will stay here forever. When I die one day, this place will remain the way it is, with the 4 men standing at the back there, and then the 2 masks, and this guy, Faith, being a legacy of everything that I've ever done in my life. So this park represents my whole life's career, and this I want to leave the way it is, together with everything that I've built here.
Anton's work, from his lifelike sculptures to the more abstract pieces, speak in their own language. Their authenticity makes them digestible to the viewer who relates to its universal themes. It is for these reasons that Anton Smit is considered a true South African master. For more information on the incredible guests and stories featured in today's show, head over to theinsidersa.co.za. Join us again next week as we celebrate culture.
Another feel-good production.